be silly. Think when you're afraid. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Hey, welcome back to my channel, Running Wild. I am here in Salida, Colorado, and it is one of my favorite days of the year. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and Salida is something special. It's going to be toned down a lot this year because of COVID, so don't want a lot of people standing together, so no parade, but with this mountain behind me, something very special is going to happen, and I will show you that later tonight. But for now, I'm about to head for a run with both Ray, Sage, and Pacer. So it's going to be a great day. Nothing more or nothing better than getting to run with those three. So heart is feeling full right now, and let's get this run started. Are you excited? Supergirl! Supergirl!
'Maybe not with Pacer.
Has no problem.
Oh, it's far away. What does Pacer want to do? $15.8 miles for Pacer. That's mountain. Good dog. Good job.
So it is a couple hours later now. Had a great run with Ray, Sage, and Pacer today. We ended up running about 16 miles. And on trails, I haven't ran in a really long time. Probably not since I lived here, which is, gosh, that's like close to 9 years ago. Yeah, I'm coming up on my 10th year of living in Colorado. One of the better decisions I've ever made in my entire life was moving to Colorado. I always thought like I'd go explore living in different states, but the more I travel now, the more I feel that Colorado is home. And I still love traveling, but Colorado just steals my heart, and especially this town, Salida specifically, steals my heart. It's always been my home away from home ever since I moved away from here. Always kind of thought it might be nice to move back, so we'll see about that one day. But tonight is one of the reasons why I love Salida. It's a very special small town thing, and I'm very excited to show you soon. Gotta wait till it gets dark, so bring my GoPro, better camera, out for that. And yeah, I'll show you part of what Salida is all about. Yay! Woo!
Pretty standard one this year.
Yeah, is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Aww. Gotta get the mountain races in there.
The moonlight.
Ooh, gotta love those full cloves of garlic. Okay, I'm now back in Boulder, and first off, good news. Tomorrow is Cyber Monday. I found a new vlogging camera that I'm gonna get, so better camera quality actually coming soon. So hopefully next week, if I'm filming when it's slightly dark out, when it is now, video quality will be much better. So exciting news there, at least I think so. I know it's been a long time coming that I've been doing YouTube and using low quality cameras. So upgrade there. But yeah, I'm back from Salida now. Always love my time there. Salida is definitely my home away from home. Always love being surrounded by mountains, trails all over, and it has like this awesome like outdoorsy, artsy vibe to it that I just really enjoy. And you know, always getting to spend time with Sage and Ray and Pacer. You know, that always leads to a great time. But getting back to this past week ended up being a recovery week. Just ended up fitting well, or being placed well in my schedule here. And the week before, I hit my highest mileage week, close to 80-ish miles for me. I always hate throwing out mileage because other people are listening and then compare, which, you know, when you start comparing, that can get down to very slippery slope. Sometimes it's motivating and sometimes it's detrimental. So I think, you know, when I say what I'm doing, especially when it comes to mileage, or what speed workouts I'm doing, always ask yourself if this should apply to you, if it should be just information about my own training, or if it's something you could apply to your own training, or something you definitely shouldn't be applying to your own training. One of my athletes I coach is training for the same race right now, and I told him, like, your training is gonna look a lot different than mine, and honestly, like, I wish I could be doing what you could be doing right now. I just know I have to take a different route. So, and actually, I'll link to it below. I wrote a post on sagerunning.com before about not always following the leader, and that kind of applies this topic of, you know, you can use certain people to maybe look up to your training, but maybe you really shouldn't be following them at all. And I certainly have to do that with a lot of like the top runners I follow too, especially some of like the really fast, like 5 to 10K people to fast marathoners. Can't be doing what they're doing, and have to think about my own needs in that term. So anyway, getting back, this was a recovery week. Today, Sunday, took today totally off from running. I did do some upper body core work and a little bit of glute med work, get that firing, and hopefully I feel like I'm in a good position to get in some good training next week. But honestly, this week I just felt like I was all over the place. Like, I want to talk about my running form right now and give you an update on that, but honestly, like, I felt like I had some really good days and then some really bad days. Like some days, like, I felt like my form was okay. Other days I'm like, this feels really awkward, and I feel like the form tweaks I'm supposed to be doing is just creating more issues. And then, you know, like, and then yesterday, like, I felt like, oh, I feel great right now. But I was running on trails and partly snow, so I'll think I'm gonna wait till next week to give you a bigger update on how my form is feeling. So yeah, that's my complete honesty there. But what I would like to talk about, well, two things, is running the snow. So running the snow with Ray and Sage over the weekend, and we all kind of just felt our hips a little bit more than we normally do. And so that's a good reminder. If you are starting to run in snow, some of you are probably running in absolutely beautiful weather right now, but if you're running in snow, or even maybe like sand or anything like kind of, or mud too, and if you kind of feel like things just being a little bit achy, just know after the run or before your next run, you might have to take a little bit more time, do some foam rolling or mobility, just to make sure those muscles are tendons like aren't getting super tight and you don't like pull muscle after that. I could do a whole talk on this, and maybe I will, about just like what you should adjust when you're running in the snow, or what are things you should think about. But big thing is to actually make sure you're just taking a little extra care of your body and doing those little things so you don't get injured when you're running on a surface that's causing you to constantly slip, and really working some of your stability muscles. And yeah, so that's a little brief side rant to talk about the snow. But what I really want to talk about is something I was talking about with my athletes this week, and that's taking your rest seriously. I took my off season back in, I guess it was October, just because that's when it worked out for me. But a lot of people are heading into their off seasons right now. And what I've noticed over the years with coaching is that the athletes who can take rest seriously, whether that's after a race or actually taking like a true off season, which could be like anywhere from like 2 weeks to maybe even 2 months, typically not that long. Like you would start building up a little bit sooner, but maybe not if you don't have a goal race. Like it's just, well, it's still the end of November and you don't have a goal race till like June. Like you could take a longer off season for sure. But those who take those rest periods seriously often see bigger gains that following year or even in the years to come. And it's hard because as I've talked about before, like if you're fit, it's really hard to let go of that fitness. But the thing is, if you try to hold on to it too long, you're gonna end up slipping back anyway. And I think I have done a video on this. Yeah, I drew like a brick wall and saying like yeah, you might lose some fitness when you take rest periods, but you're not gonna like start from zero or like where you were if you took a rest period like 5-10 years ago. There are exceptions to that, but general trend, like, you know, you have to lose a little fitness sometimes to gain a little fitness. And that's really why taking these rest periods are so important, both for physical and even mental health, and staying in the long term, and also keeping a healthy relationship with running. Like those who really struggle to let go of big training weeks, I really find they need to talk to them about their relationship with running and whether it's healthy or not. Sometimes it is, but sometimes they're putting too much of their self-worth into running. And I've been there before too. I've been there, in fact, most of my life playing sports. I put a lot of my self-worth into athletic outcomes or to how much training I was doing. And it wasn't healthy. And you know, I performed worse because of it, because I wasn't enjoying it. It raised my anxiety levels. I never rested enough. And I would have done better as an athlete if I would have just enjoyed things more and taken the rest when I needed it. So, you know, if you're supposed to be doing your off season right now, take that seriously. Do other things you enjoy with the people you love. That is so important. Your self-worth should never be tied up into running, and you should never put all your marbles in one basket. Have other things you love to do. For some people, I know that's gonna be easier said than done, but you know, I was somebody, as I said, who always put my self-worth into sports. I'm like, oh, I can't find that happiness somewhere else. But that was just a lie I was telling myself. That was just a story I told myself, and it wasn't serving me. And when I realized that, I was able to find happiness in other things. Like I love helping people. I love being service to others. And that's what really brings me purpose. A race outcome does not bring me purpose. Adding to the quality of other people's lives, like that brings me purpose. And it might be different for other people. But I think what's important is taking the time to find other things that are meaningful to you and bring you purpose and bring you happiness. So, all right, enough ranting today. So yeah, next week, I think I'm actually going to test for a leg length discrepancy just because it's been suggested I do it before. So I think I'm just going to see, especially after Sage got his test done. He did a video on his leg discrepancy, I believe. I'm kind of interested as well, especially with some of the issues I've been having hoping to hit higher mileage next week, and get in some good workouts. Oh, this past week's tempo was not good. I was about to say something else, but I'm just gonna go with not great. So hopefully this week's workouts will be better, and this rest week will help my body absorb some of the past week's training. So we'll see, and I'll give you a running form update next time. So thank you so much for watching as always. If you do like this channel and following along, it really does help me to subscribe and do the thumbs up thing. I hate promoting myself, but it's true that those things help me. So yeah, thank you so much for your support and for watching, and until next time, keep running wild.